Thurman had a friend in Texas who had some really good dope. He was an outlaw. He was a cowboy. He was a very serious guy. This was a guy who carried a gun, carried a knife, had a shotgun in his truck. You didn't mess with this guy. This guy's name was Albert. And Thurman said, listen, if you're serious, we can take some money to Albert, meaning me. When you go to Dallas, we can come back with a pound of first-grade grass. I said, okay. He says, but only if you're serious. Albert's a very serious guy. You don't mess with Albert. Well, I took it serious at this point to mean I could die. That's what I figured serious meant, but I said, sure, no problem. Well, the price tag on this marijuana was not $200. It was going to be $1,000. It normally would cost $2, but Albert was doing a deal for Thurman, and so I got a name, Albert, on a little scrap of paper, and $1,000 in my wallet. And I went back to Dallas, Texas to see my parents, stay at my parents' home, and try to negotiate a meeting with Albert. So I have $1,000 in cash in my wallet. If my mother went through my pants and saw $1,000 in my wallet, it would be the end of me. I would have to explain, it would not end. But I made the trip. I got to Dallas. I even made the excuse of leaving the room where my parents were talking to me. Mom and Dad, I gotta call an old friend. I'll be back in a second. And I walked down the hallway, and I came into my sister's room where the Princess telephone was that she had since 1960. And I sat down and I started calling the number on there. And I hear this, hello? And I go, hello, is this Albert? Who's this? I said, Albert, this is Stephen. I'm a friend of Thurman. Yeah, Thurman told me you call. Okay, I tell you, this is the deal. You got the money? I go, yes, sir. This is the deal. You know where the Casa Linda Theater is? I go, yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, they have features at 6, 8, and 10. I tell you what you do. We're going to be in the parking lot at 9:50 tonight. That is when the 8 o'clock feature lets out, the 10 o'clock feature's going in. The parking lot's going to be full of people. I'm going to be in a red pickup truck. You have the money. I'm going to have the merchandise. We make a trade. We drive away from the parking lot. I go, yes, sir. 9:50. Don't stand me up. I said, I won't, Albert. I won't. Hang up the phone, and I'm going, oh, shit. How am I going to get out of the house with my mother and father at 9:50 to do a drug deal? How am I going to negotiate this one? So anyway, we have dinner. Mom's talking. We're watching TV. You know, watch a special. I'm looking. It's like 9 o'clock, 9:30. I'm finally going, okay, Mom, you know, I kind of feel like getting out and getting some air or something. I think I'm going to just take a little drive. Well, want me to come with you? No, Mom, no. You stay here, and I'll just be back in a few minutes. Won't be a problem. I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, here are the keys. Yes, ma'am. Take the car, and I start driving to the Casa Linda Theater. I start driving in the parking lot of the Casa Linda Theater at 9:45, and there is a big banner on the front of the theater saying, closed for private party. The parking lot is empty. There is nobody there, but my car pulls in, red pickup truck pulls in, he pulls up next to me, and a police car pulls in right here. Albert says, follow me. I just get a glimpse of Albert through the window. He pulls out. I pull out. The policeman stays there and then starts following me. My impressions of Albert when I saw him, he was like a cross between Charlie Daniels and Willie Nelson. He had a big cowboy hat on, and he had a big, big red beard, and he had a sleeveless T-shirt with a blue jean vest, tattoos here and here, driving in the car. Big guy, very big guy, a little goofy looking, big, hairy cowboy. So I'm following Albert in the truck. Policeman is following me. And I'm going, this was back before the age of the cell phone. So I could not call Albert and say, Albert, 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 I'm being followed. I couldn't say anything. So I'm following Albert. I'm trying to slow down, trying to get caught at lights, trying to see him where he's going, where he's going. He's headed for an area called White Rock Lake, which is kind of, I guess, wouldn't you say like Lover's Lane? Kind of like that. People used to go there, Flagpole Hill, that kind of thing. Yeah, they used to go there and make out, that kind of thing. So anyway, we're headed toward this deserted lake area. And suddenly the police car turns away. And it's just me and Albert. And we pull into White Rock Lake. His car stops, turns off its lights. My car pulls up behind him. I stop. He says, get in the truck. I get out, I get in the front seat of the truck. Albert's sitting there, big guy, big scary looking guy. He says, you got the money? Yes, sir, I got the money. I pull out my wallet. I hand him $1,000 there. He says, I got the brick in the back of the truck. Go back, get it, bring it in here. So I go out of the car. I go back to the back of the truck. I pull in the brick of marijuana, put it at my feet. And he says, so how's old Thurman doing out there? I'm going fine. Suddenly behind me, red lights. They had followed us. They had followed us, and there were 2 police cars. I'm like looking out the mirrors, and up the side of the cars, I am seeing policemen coming with their guns drawn, low up the side of the truck. And I said, Albert, Albert, police, police. Now let me explain. In Texas, marijuana is not a small violation. It is a felony. You go to Seagoville prison for marijuana. You lose your right to vote, your American citizenship. They hang you in Texas if you have a joint, let alone a brick. Well, I'm exaggerating now. But marijuana is a serious offense. I'm seeing my entire life going up in smoke. Cops are coming up the side with their guns drawn. I look at Albert. Albert looks in the mirror. He turns to me and says, kiss me. I go, what? Kiss me now. So I go and I kiss Albert, and we start French kissing in the front of the car. The policemen come in with their guns. Okay, okay. Oh, what have we here? Romeo and Juliet, looks like to me. All right, get out of the car, you fucking fags. Get out of the car. We get out of the car. The marijuana's lying in the truck in plain sight. They close the door. We're up against the wall. They frisk us. So, does your mama know where you are tonight, Juliet? What's going on? Which one? I bet you're the tough guy, aren't you? I bet you're... And they are giving us the fag hassle. They are hassling us for being gay. And I said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just came to meet Albert tonight. He says, I know all about it, son. I tell you what. I want you to go home. I never want to see you here again. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I look at Albert. Albert winks at me. Gets in the truck and drives away. I go home with the brick of marijuana, stick it in my carry-on bag, and bring it back to Los Angeles. The way it worked out was, it's $1,000, right? So we were able to sell 10 of the little bags for $100 each, and that way we paid for the marijuana. And then we had 5 bags for each of us for free, and we sold one and we made $100 profit. Split 5 ways is $20. $20 each. We came away from that deal. I say, just say no. Just say no. Oh boy, no.